Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Nerdstrodamus. I'm Dr. Pence.
I'm Lambo.
And you know what? It's over.
All of it.
It ended.
Endgame ended.
10 years and over 20 movies, and that was it.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, pretty much.
Here's the deal.
Pretty much.
There is no way that movie could have satisfied everyone's expectations for absolutely everything they wanted to see.
No, probably not.
But we probably got the best resolutions we could have for a lot of characters. Mm-hmm. And through all the people like trying to spoil it, and through all the complaints that the movie got, which well, I'm sure it'll get brought up. Mm-hmm. We both really enjoyed it. And it was a very satisfying conclusion. Actually, it was a more satisfying conclusion than most comic book events have given us in the past decade.
Yeah. I remember that AVX one, Avengers vs. X-Men. It was it ended okay, but it was definitely not as good as it could have.
Avengers vs. X-Men only did two good things. The actual AVX books, where it was the team-ups of...
Yeah, they were fun.
And it set up Rick Remender's Uncanny Avengers, which was a fantastic book.
Mm-hmm. So Avengers fans... Go read it.
Yeah. But Endgame was really, really great. And I'm sure some of you checked it out. We did a prediction video before going to see Endgame, where we made 4 groups of predictions.
I'm really glad we prepared people with spoilers for that episode, because we got some things right.
Now, here's the deal, though.
Not everything.
No, I don't even want to say we were, close to being right. We were, adjacent to being right in a lot of cases.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. So, certain things that, it was weird parts of things we got right.
Yeah, so let's just go through and talk about them.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the red herring first, because that's what we started with, I believe.
Right.
And that was us looking at the trailers and being like, what's the red herring in there? Mm-hmm. What is the trailer hiding from us? Let's talk about yours first.
Mine was when they were walking in towards the, I guess now we know that it was the
time travel,
time machine thing. Yeah. I figured there was something in there.
There's a spot next to Cap
that looked like it was nice and open, and then we waited for that exact shot in the movie, and it came, and there was no one there.
Right.
It was okay, though. I feel good about that.
My red herring was the one that I was actually full-on correct about. Mm-hmm. And that was, I said, the trailer showing Tony about to die in space, and, they're setting it up to be really traumatic. I'm like, what they're not showing you is that 5 seconds later he gets rescued, and guess what? That's exactly what happened.
Right, yeah. The other red herring we didn't expect was the Scarlett Johansson's character firing at
the gun,
yeah.
They show that scene, and that's not in the movie anymore.
No.
Yeah. But
they probably definitely do that to kind of suspend our disbelief and maybe make us think she's going to survive or something like that.
Which, you know what? Let's just move on then and talk about our death pool.
Right. I did not see either of the 2 major character deaths coming at all. In fact, we talked very, very specifically about how we did not think Tony Stark was going to die.
No, but in all honesty, if it was going to, I knew it had to be someone like Cap or Tony. It had to be someone big. And you predicted actually what happened to Cap, and you got that right.
I totally did. Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get there. But so Tony dies, which in the long run, if you really look at everything, it was a really justified death for him.
Yeah, actually, I remember the moment I realized he was going to die, and it was the moment we saw that, residential bliss that he was living in. Yeah. After the 5-year time jump, and we saw, oh God, he has a daughter. A lot of the things that they were waiting for had come true already, so there was no sparing the future of any happiness for him. He had already lived 5 years of it.
Right.
And I remember kind of looking over at you and being like,
yeah, this is the only thing worse he could have said is, I'm 5 days from retirement.
Yeah.
Saying that would have just clinched it immediately. But the other thing is look at Tony in the beginning. Yeah. His weapons were being used to murder people and everything, and he vowed to stop it. Mm-hmm. And it was him in the end that, of course.
And ultimately, they were used to protect everyone, which is sort of the irony there.
Right. So it was a good end for Tony.
Yes.
But the other death that we didn't see coming, mostly because they kind of said, oh, there's a Black Widow series happening. Black Widow died.
Yeah.
But now here's the deal that I find interesting. This is where I was adjacent to being right.
Yeah, go for it.
Because I said that the Soul Stone, they would have to recreate it. Right. And I imagined it was going to be between Captain America and Iron Man.
Yeah, you did.
And I said that...
And actually the scene you imagined between the two literally ended up happening between Hawkeye and
because I said Iron Man would try to sacrifice himself. Cap would say, no, you've got too much to live for. I've got nothing, being away from my friends that... Yeah. I left in the past. And it just ended up being, Hawkeye has a family. Black Widow's like, I got nothing. Blah! And that was it. Yeah. And not to demean her death or anything.
No, not at all. It was, it It wasn't as emotional as I thought it was going to be because I think that worked for their character dynamic.
Yeah.
But I think that was it was a tough one.
It was a tough one,
yeah.
and they had to save the Captain America Iron Man death if either one was going to happen
for the end.
For the end,
right? Because we'll get to the. I wanted to just mention another thing, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Yeah. So that's what we've got so far. So I was adjacent to being right. You said Thor was going to die.
I said Thor was going to die because, and for a lot of the same reasons that, Captain America could die, or Tony Stark at this point could die, or, Black Widow at this point died. But no, we got the best surprise of the universe with Dude Thor. Yes.
And you know what?
Oh my God.
So I have to bring this up because somebody complained that why did they have to make Thor a stereotypical gamer who was fat, playing Fortnite and everything? And here's my deal. Thor is at his lowest point here.
Yeah.
And when you're depressed, what do?
Yeah.
You sink into comforting things.
You self-indulge.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what he's doing. And nowadays, what do people self-indulge with? Alcohol, food, video games, loneliness.
Yeah.
But the best part about that was the fact that he was with Korg and Meek.
That was really unexpected, but necessary. Oh my God, needed to happen.
You know what else somebody brought up to me that was amazing?
Huh.
Thor doesn't get thin at all throughout the movie.
No.
Some people assume that when he like transformed again, like it would slim him down, but no.
No.
He's got the punch.
No, I mean, it stays that way, and I feel like, that 5-year time jump like solidified a lot of things.
Yeah.
And it did the thing that we prefer to see, I guess, happen slowly over time, is that characters become more like themselves,
Yeah.
Sometimes it happens to the point of parody, and it kind of almost happened that way for Thor this time, because, Thor started off really serious, like almost too serious. Like, he was the one everybody was worried about in phase 1. It's like, how are they going to manage a Thor movie alongside all this serious, realistic stuff?
And despite what everyone might say, I'll be honest, I don't like Thor 1 or Thor 2. I don't like either one. I know a lot of people don't like Thor 2 that much. Thor 1, I'm not a big fan of. But Thor Ragnarok, it did a really good job.
But it also took him in a different direction and basically used him in a better way.
It did.
As a comedic device, because he just works better that way.
Yes, but he still has some really heartfelt moments, particularly when he sees his mom.
Yeah.
That was really nice and did a really good job.
That was good. That was the redemption arc he needed, I think.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people were saying, like, I remember IGN saying, like, he needed a win, all that kind of stuff, and he got his win in a kind of a weird way this time.
He did.
He had to find the hero within.
And also, like, just that final fight was amazing. But we'll
get there. That was what I was going to mention before, and I'm like, okay, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
So those were the first two, was the death pool and the red herring.
Yeah.
The wild card. Mm-hmm. My wild card prediction, like the crowd pleasing moment, was going to be Bruce Banner finally re-hulking and combining Bruce Banner with Hulk to make Professor Hulk, and I expected it to be a different colored Hulk.
Kind of happened, but it wasn't a big, epic moment. No. Honestly, Professor Hulk's two most epic moments are, when he dons the Infinity Gauntlet and when he saves the taco.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what? That's such a nice moment. I forgot about that.
Like, the first, 45 minutes of the movie is really slow.
Yeah.
But, like, necessary. Like, we want to catch up with all these characters. We want some of those quiet moments that they ended up giving us. That was kind of weird, I guess.
Yeah.
And it was good.
But we did get Professor Hulk, which was really, really cool.
Yes.
And the way they presented it, I'm glad they didn't show us, like, him hulking out that way. He's like, no, I tamed it myself. We didn't waste time on it. We just got that.
But that's, unfortunately, Hulk has been sort of a side character since since the Edward Norton movie, and that's fine.
The closest we got to a main character Hulk was, I think, Age of Ultron, when him and Black Widow had that weird kind of relationship going on. But
Avengers 1 was pretty much a Hulk centered kind of movie though too. We forget about how much, because Loki was actually going to weaponize him. Remember?
Oh yeah,
and that was going to be the whole deal.
Oh, that's right.
So there's a lot going on there.
Oh, I didn't bring this up with the death pool, but I wanted to bring this up that they mention when Hulk undoes the snap and brings everyone back. Mm-hmm. We don't see Black Widow, but he says, I really tried to bring Nat back.
Yeah.
I really tried, but he couldn't. Mm-hmm. A lot of speculation is that he actually did,
Yeah.
Somehow. Yeah.
She's in a Lazarus pit somewhere.
Because that's why he says, I tried to bring her back.
Okay.
Like, they don't mention anybody else him trying to bring back really hardcore. No. It's specifically Black Widow.
Well, she's the one who has the permadeath at that point.
Yeah. What was your wild card prediction?
Something X-Men related.
Oh, which, no.
No.
Or Fantastic Four.
No. But, well, now that Thanos is gone, there's only a couple of, like, supreme bads. We have all the Eternals and stuff, and there is some talk of an Eternals movie.
Yeah, that's been going around.
And then we have Galactus, which would be another amazing baddie to bring into everything, right?
We'll have to wait and see.
I know. Well, and that would be something if they were to do it in the future. I think the big question for me is, are they even going to call it Avengers if they make a fifth one?
I don't know.
But I don't know.
And then the method of undoing.
I nailed it.
You did.
I was pretty close to nailing it.
But at the same time, like,
it was adjacent. It's sort of a mixture of our two, because I did not think they were going to go after all of the Infinity Stones.
Right.
I did not think so.
But they did recreate the gauntlet using Tony Stark's technology.
They did.
But they had to do it with time travel.
Yeah, so if you merge our two predictions together, they were pretty good.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
So we, I was hoping that would mesh in with maybe a Reed Richards kind of thing or an X-Men thing, but it didn't.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I did nail 100% that I feel really, really good about, and I kept watching for it, and then it finally happened, was Cap basically having a happy ending and getting to relive his whole life, you know?
I do not like the Captain America comics.
No.
I have tried. Mm-hmm. But I will say that Captain America in the Avengers has been one of my favorite characters throughout all these movies. And, oh, man. We mentioned this in the prediction video, that the Russo brothers had said they did not utilize Cap a lot in Infinity War because they were saving it for Endgame. And man, we got some really great Cap moments.
And I mean, my favorite was when they went back to the 1970, and they went to Camp Lehigh, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Like that. And oh my goodness.
Tony gets to meet his dad.
And Cap gets to go back, and he sees Peggy Carter,
and she still has his picture there.
I know.
But Captain America had by far my favorite moments in the movie because we get the elevator scene, a rehash of Winter Soldier, which everybody thought the same thing. Everybody thought, they're gonna do the brawl again, and it's gonna be awesome. But no, he plays it perfectly and leans in, and just goes, Hail Hydra, which is a nice callback to the comics when we had, oh my God, I think it was like Secret Empire or whatever.
Something like that, yeah.
I don't know, people were mad.
No, it was. That was only a couple years ago.
No, but it was a nice throwback and a nice way of Cap playing it. Mm-hmm. And
the Cap on Cap scene was actually kind of fun.
And also,
that was cool. Yeah.
I have to quote it.
Yeah.
Him looking at his fallen body and doing the callback of, that is America. Like, that's such a funny joke. And
actually I want to kind of get on that one. He had no problem swearing in this movie. And I want to say they threw the S-bomb out there.
A lot.
Ton, because they haven't done it hardly at all in any MCU movie. And they do that, of course, because like Marvel or Disney owns Marvel, at this point, or at least Marvel Studios.
Right.
And they have that squeaky clean kind of thing going on here. And I think it's maybe as a proxy for like the F-bomb or something like that this time to bring in the seriousness of everything.
Yeah.
There was a couple of them tossed out in those early scenes when Iron Man came back and he had that really, really uncomfortable confrontation.
Oh my God. Oof, yeah.
I think it was to kind of convey the seriousness and brevity, levity. Oh, there we go. Not brevity. Levity of everything.
Sure. I know words.
And I thought that the extra swear words were kind of a weird thing, and they tossed it around.
I think it's to show it's one of those things where people who don't swear a lot they do it when it has the most power.
Right.
And I think given that this was Endgame, it was like, this is serious.
Yeah. I didn't notice they said it once, and then they said it like a couple of times in a row. A couple of scenes. And so it was just an interesting observation on my end.
And let's talk about the two other Cap moments, the two other amazing Cap moments. Mm-hmm. Number one, the crowd pleaser that I am mad I didn't see coming because it's from the comics. It was hinted at in Age of Ultron, but it was still one of the coolest moments.
Yeah, people literally jumped out of their seats and were like punching the air.
Oh, I was pumped when like Thor and Thanos are going at it, and you think like Thanos is going to cut off Thor's head. Mjolnir flies by, cracks Thanos across the head, and who catches it? Cap.
Wow.
And then you get Thor looking up going, I knew it. I knew he was worthy. And then we have the best fight scene in the movie. Cap one-on-one with Thanos, just wielding Mjolnir, summoning lightning, just beating the crap out of him. And it was good.
I want to see it again just for that scene.
Yeah, really. Yeah. I'm getting goosebumps like thinking about that scene because it was a long time coming.
Right.
And it was really, really good.
Right. And yeah, it led into all the very, very end stuff, which we'll get into here in a moment. But,
yeah. And also the second best scene with Mjolnir is Spider-Man riding it.
Yeah. Well, okay. Hold on. He was holding the Infinity Gauntlet.
They were trying to get it to Ant-Man's time machine.
Flying on Mjolnir, and then eventually landed on a Pegasus.
Yeah.
So
that was a thing that happened
in the movie.
That was a sentence we had to say.
Yeah.
Spider-Man rides a magic hammer carrying the Infinity Gauntlet to jump onto a Pegasus to get it to a time machine. There is nothing more comic booky about that.
You got it.
Yeah. And let's talk about the last Cap scene.
Yeah.
Which was the best way to send him off.
Oh, yeah. He finally got his dance with Peggy Carter.
And got married.
Yeah.
But he goes back in time to return the Infinity Stones, and he never comes back.
And probably to actually, I didn't think about it, but he probably went back to return Mjolnir, too.
He probably did.
Because he probably needed to give that back to other Thor.
Yeah, so he could get destroyed.
Right.
Yeah. Protect the timeline, even though I don't think we did.
No.
But so Cap then goes back, and he and Peggy Carter
in another timeline, obviously.
In another timeline,
live an entire life.
Yeah, and we see Old Man Cap, and he got what he needed because he has not had a moment to rest since this all started.
No.
And he deserved to win. He deserved it hard. He got it. And then the moment that got me the most is him passing the shield on to Falcon, which I kind of called because I said Falcon and Bucky are both there. We have the
You did say that in the video.
Yeah, the Captain America replacements were there, and I'm not surprised he gave it to Falcon.
No, not at all. Because especially because I'm kind of weirded out. Actually, he didn't bring Bucky back with him or something.
I think Bucky's been changed too much.
He has. He's not someone from back then anymore.
And also keep in mind that Bucky technically did live through that time because he was alive. He was just you know, but Bucky's now living the best life he can too. But Sam gets the shield and. Apparently, we're getting a Winter Soldier Falcon TV show on Disney Plus, which
I don't know what's going to happen on Disney Plus. It's just going to be like where all the extra, Avengers stuff lives.
Yeah, so we'll wait and see. But in the end, Endgame was amazing, and there's so much stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
There are so many callbacks, so many things.
Possible Howard the Duck sighting.
Yeah, which I've
seen reports of this online that there might be a Howard the Duck sighting in the end of the movie. I missed it if it's there.
Yeah. Which, if you don't know who Howard the Duck is, Google it. Google it.
Yeah.
Because he's in Guardians of the Galaxy.
And two.
Yeah. The one thing, there were so many callbacks that I missed out on. Like when they start getting the radio transmission that everybody's come back, it's Falcon saying, on your left.
On your left.
Which is how they met in Winter Soldier, which was
when he was running, when they were training and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
It was stuff like that I just didn't see. And, of course, the heartbreaking moments between Peter and Tony and Tony's daughter.
Yeah.
And that whole thing of, did you get the cheeseburger callback?
Of course, yeah. Because, that's iconic, that part. He's like, I want an American cheeseburger.
Yeah. I'll get you all the cheeseburgers you want. That was,
Yeah.
And the little kid from Iron Man 3 was at the funeral.
Yeah.
And everyone I've talked to did not get that until the way home.
No, I didn't get it either.
Oh, that's who that was.
Yeah. I'm staring at him. I actually thought it was like Quicksilver from
because it looks from
the X-Men movies.
Yeah, it looks like Quicksilver from the X-Men movies.
Yeah, Evan Peters. Yeah.
So he just grew up to be that. But overall, Endgame was good. It was a great payoff. As far as the movie goes, I don't think it stands on its own without all the other stuff.
No.
But as a payoff of 10 years and over 20 movies, it does a great job of wrapping up these characters that we started phase 1 with. And it leaves the door open for all these other characters that we have gotten along the way.
Yeah. Kevin Smith years ago called The Dark Knight the Godfather 2 of comic book movies. If that's Godfather 2, then this is Goodfellas, 100%. You don't know that. You don't know what I'm talking about.
Nope, never seen Godfather 2 or Goodfellas.
He's not a
movie guy.
No, not a cinephile.
No.
But that's okay. No, Epic does everything it needs to do. I think I walked away from it feeling like we could have gotten something more. I think.
Bombastic,
extreme, bombastic. Everything kind of went the way it should have gone or could have gone. There were so many things that I didn't expect, like that awesome husband and wife rescue and Iron Man moment.
Oh yeah.
And I think the final battle I almost didn't see coming in my own heart.
Not to that extent,
but only in that I think I was expecting it to be a more personal, small fight.
Yeah.
But of course it had to bring everybody back. It just made sense.
Yeah. I will say I have one big disappointment with the movie, and that was we had to bring Captain Marvel in for this, but I feel like she's underutilized in it.
Well, apparently she filmed these scenes for this movie before they even made Captain Marvel.
Oh.
Because they filmed the two movies back to back.
Oh.
Endgame and Infinity War. So she hadn't even personally probably developed her character and who she was.
Yeah.
Because she came off as kind of pompous and whatever, where, she's a lot more relatable in the Captain Marvel movie.
Which I didn't see Captain Marvel, and I will agree, she seems pompous and
Yeah, and kind of distant and disconnected and that kind of thing. And she shows up as a Deus Ex Machina just twice.
Yeah, that's really it.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
No, but...
She's a hyper-powerful character who, just serves that purpose. That's fine.
Yeah.
If they end up making a Captain Marvel 2, they're going to have to somehow incorporate her more into the broader world a little bit, I think, because she kind of has this almost Green Lantern-esque, I'm more important doing stuff other places, Because how the Green Lantern Corps always kind of is oh yeah, we're off this part of the galaxy.
Well, that's because Hal Jordan and Kyle Rayner and all those other ones, they're stationed for Earth.
Yeah.
And all the planets in that sector.
Right, but she's not. She's no, I have more important things to do out in the middle of space somewhere.
Yeah. And she makes the point that the reason that they haven't seen her around is because they had Earth.
Yeah.
They had it covered. Now they screwed up. But
yeah.
we could probably talk about this for hours.
We could totally pull out every stupid nerd and comic book reference we know and talk about it all.
Which is not as many as other people.
No.
Because we
read comics pretty avidly for 4 years ish.
I mean, I'm still reading them. I'm still hanging out at the comic shop, which
I still have a bunch of long boxes in my closet upstairs, and I loved reading week to week. And there was a while I had a pull list with 15 books on it. It was
I'm down to one.
It was intense.
Yeah.
But Marvel was never really my thing. I was more of a DC guy.
See, Marvel was my thing, but only because I was a Spider-Man fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I never read Infinity Gauntlet.
No. Oh, I did before this movie actually.
Yeah, you're better about that stuff.
Yeah. But, and that's kind of why I was thinking maybe Nebula would get a little bit more due.
She had some nice moments.
No, and she definitely fulfilled her ultimate purpose as well. And
I have hated Nebula up until this movie.
Oh, really?
Yes, I did not like her at all, but I loved her in this movie.
Was it the football scene that help?
Oh yeah.
Because that went pretty far.
It showed her trying.
Yeah.
It showed her trying to be normal, and I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And also we had. I never tweeted it out, but I have to make the comment that I want to see a spin-off movie that's just Thor and Rocket Raccoon called Fat and Furious. That's all I want, because that was amazing.
Yeah.
But now we have the Asgardians of the Galaxy.
I know. Yeah. So let's talk about where everything's going next.
Okay.
Where do we see things going?
We're done with Iron Man. I don't think we're gonna get an Iron Man solo adventure.
I'm gonna make a really, really long running. I don't even know if we'll be doing a YouTube channel at this point, but somewhere in the next 10 years, they're gonna do a callback one, and they're gonna find a way to bring Iron Man back. They'll find a way to bring Cap back, and they're gonna have an extra crazy, over the top, moment.
Okay.
Where one of them magically shows up out of the time portal to save everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope they don't, because I think it would. My problem is when you bring people back in comic books.
Mm-hmm. It'll be for a one-off thing. It won't be they're back.
No. But it diminishes the value of their death. I think anytime they bring somebody back. So I'm hoping they don't, especially because this is cinema, not comics. Where comics, it's okay because those things go on for years.
I will admit that this movie went exactly the way a last issue of a big crossover.
Except it didn't, because it was better. It actually had emotional payoff.
Yeah. Because they had the time. They didn't have to save ink or space or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm glad the movie was 3 hours for that reason.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I don't think we're going to see an Avengers again for a very long time.
Okay. Do you think they're going to save the name Avengers for something special or different?
I think what we're going to see in the next phase is a lot of solo stuff, not a lot of crossover. We're getting Spider-Man Far From Home, which is, of course, Spider-Man's last MCU movie.
Oh, he's so sad because he knows Spider-Man's going to suck after that. It's going to suck.
We're going to get Guardians of the Galaxy 3 or as Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's going to be.
They're going to be off searching for Gamora. We'll probably get another Ant-Man. Here's the deal. A lot of people were speculating that his daughter's going to join in. Now she's a teenager.
Yeah, I guess she could.
We're definitely getting. I mean, I don't know if they'll just do the Falcon show or if we'll get an actual Captain America movie, like Sam Wilson, Captain America.
I just don't know if it's going to have the pull, especially if they have the show going. They're not going to need to.
Yeah, I don't know. But then, are we going to get another Doctor Strange?
Ooh, so there's a few of them that I'm kind of like, we don't need another Doctor Strange.
No.
They could team him up with somebody, and that would be kind of cool.
I will say it again, and I did get this too in my prediction. Yeah. Hulk, Doctor Strange. Or no, that wasn't a prediction. We were discussing that before the movie. Yeah. Sorry. But Hulk, Doctor Strange. I think that would work really well.
That'd be kind of cool.
Science and mysticism together.
Thing.
Plus, you've got two characters. I don't know how well they work by themselves, but I think together they would work.
See, I'm of the opposite persuasion. I don't think they have many places to go unless they really start digging into weird stuff and like make a Namor movie and that kind of stuff from here on out.
I don't know if they would do Namor because he's so closely tied to Fantastic Four, unless they do Fantastic Four.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of what I mean. I think the only horizon they really have to explore is the X-Men, Fantastic Four, because those are the two other big franchises.
Yeah.
And, maybe bringing back some of the Defenders characters.
Maybe.
And exploring what they could do with those. I mean, they did just announce a Hulu Ghost Rider series.
With Robbie Reyes, not Johnny Blaze.
Yeah, so...
Which...
Cool.
Well, that was, he was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Robbie Reyes showed up in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I actually like him as Ghost Rider a bit more, but that's me.
Yeah.
What about War Machine?
But does War Machine deserve a whole? Not to say he doesn't deserve it because he's a cool character, but would he warrant a whole movie?
I don't know. Or do we get an Iron Family movie where it's War Machine Rescue and Morgan Stark?
And that's why I think we're actually going to be seeing more crossover in the next bit because there's all these extra peripheral characters that need places to be, and they're kind of show up in this random movie and that random movie. I think.
Yeah.
I think it'll work better and make people feel more comfortable. The more they can make things feel connected, the better the movies end up being. It's when things go off way on their own at this point. Like in the beginning, it was totally fine to have like a first Avenger, Captain America, and everything be nice and separate, and then bring everything together.
Well, how long did it take for us to get Iron Man and then Avengers? How many years was it?
It was 4 years.
I think we're going to see that again. Because we have to set up an entire new set of people to come together. And also, I think it's going to be hard to get these people together without, Cap and Iron Man behind it.
I know, but now that we've set the precedent that the tent pole is bringing people together, I wonder if that's... But then again, it's going to diminish the coolness of bringing everyone together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's going to be a tough tightrope to walk.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to do it.
Maybe, in all honesty, we'll just get a couple of characters to, wrap up their own individual stories and it'll end.
That would be really satisfying to me.
Yeah.
I think it would be kind of cool to see it sort of end and just kind of be tied off nicely. This would be a good time to kind of start that, maybe build up to one more cool thing. But then again, they are making lots of money and they have the X-Men and the Fantastic Four in their pocket now.
So you keep saying that, but I don't know if we're actually going to get anything to cross over there.
Yeah?
I don't know.
Because the only other big thing they have in the whole thing is all the rest of the Spider-Man stuff.
Which they're not going to
Spider-Verse.
But they're not going to use it because Sony's got it.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And it's especially because they had a huge win with Spider-Verse.
Which, thank God. Yeah. Thank you, Sony. Thank you for doing a decent Spider-Man movie. The first decent one you've done since Spider-Man 2 in the Sam Raimi trilogy.
Right.
It took you how long? It hurts.
Yeah.
Physically hurts.
That was a nerd scream. But yeah. So as far as that goes, their three of their biggest things are still sitting there waiting to be used.
Yeah.
And we've already used everybody else pretty much. And I know some Marvel fanboys going to be like, well, what about? Hold on. Man-Thing. What about Man-Thing?
That's the one you pull out, not Wonder Man or Power Man or whatever he's called. Not nothing like that.
Go on. Who else we got?
Hold on. Not a Beta Ray Bill?
I don't think he's going to have his own movie, if that's what you're saying.
I don't think so either.
But anyway.
Yeah. But anyway, let us know in the comments what you thought. Let us know in the comments, like, are you a fan of the comics? Did you enjoy the movie? Have you just been enjoying the movies? Like, what did you think? And, like, comment, subscribe, share, ring the bell so you get notifications when we put out a new video.
And this episode is also going up as a podcast,
right.
Just because it's a little bit more discussion-y.
And it's longer.
Yeah.
So, keep that all in mind. And, hey, because this is going up after it, let us know if you enjoyed Free Comic Book Day.
Mm-hmm.
Did you pick up anything? Are there any comics you're interested in? Or any comics we should be reading? Because you're not really reading anything.
Not really.
And I'm reading Transformers, and that's it. So let us know in the comments below, or just, hit us up. Make sure to go to Nerdstrodamus.com. You can find ways to contact us there. But for Nerdstrodamus, I'm Dr. Pants.
I'm Lambo.
And hope you enjoyed the end game. But we'll catch you some other time.
Avengers. Dissemble.
Oh.